Okay, now I will continue with the next slide. Okay, so firewall in network design. Okay, so in network, basically you need to design, design a firewall lah. Okay, so based on a particular requirement, you will have a different firewall based on what the user wants. Okay, what the user wants to secure, whether it's a data, whether it's a network, whether it's a user device. Okay, so basically in this design, okay, in this example, okay, you have a private LAN here, you have a public, okay, untrusted lah here. Okay, so they have one firewall with the capability of a router, okay, which is serial connected to the public and gigabit connected to the LAN with a VLAN, okay, configuration. So as can you see here, okay, usually okay, we need to have access from the private to the public for all these service, HTTP, SMTP and DNS. Okay, why? Because usually we put our let's say this is company, they have a web server, okay, they have a DNS name for the server, they have the email server. So usually the email, all those kind of server we put in the DMZ lah, so between the private and the public, so it must be able to be allowed. So but from the public to the private, usually we will deny. Okay, why? Because the public should not have access to all this private property, either is IP or a data or a server, should not have. Okay, so usually we will deny. Okay, so this is what I said about demilitarized zone. Okay, so all these kind of services, okay, usually this is in terms of a server, we put in a DMZ. Why? Because the DMZ is located between the private and public. Okay, so the firewall should deny any connection from the public to the private, and also the DMZ also will deny any of connection from DMZ to the private. Why? Because DMZ, even though the DMZ is a server, the company server, the organization server, but it is a location that is between the private and public, which is prone to attack, okay, prone to be taken over. So it should not have to be allowed to have connection, okay, especially for SSH lah, to the inside. Okay, but the inside should be able to connect to the DMZ. Okay, that is for troubleshooting and maintenance lah. Okay, so as you can see here, alright, for expected and permitted, okay, from private to the DMZ, yes, we allow. Okay, to the internet, yes, we allow. But from internet to the private should be blocked. From the DMZ to the private should be blocked. But between the DMZ and the public, there are some service that we allow, but some that we are not allowed. Okay, so demilitarized zone is a very important lah. Okay, right. The next is a zone-based policy, firewall. So what is the mean of zone-based? So zone-based mean member of the same zone, such as this one, okay, you have one DMZ, you have a public, okay, then you have, let's say, two branch, connected to the one particular router with a particular SCL capability, so this is a private LAN 1, this is private LAN 2. So whether they are in different, physically they are two different, okay, two different LAN or two physically different LAN, okay, but this is the same zone. Why? Because this is a private LAN for that particular organization. Okay, so we can configure our firewall policy, okay, based on the member of the same zone, even if they are connected or divided into two different LAN, which is either is logically or physically. Okay, so how to to do that, okay, we can have a layered defense. Okay, the first is network corporate security. Okay, network is network lah. Perimeter security, so perimeter means physically. Okay, endpoint security, endpoint mean our endpoint lah, less a printer, a phone, our our PC, okay, laptop, workstation, and communication security. So this is all the best practice for firewall. Okay, they have 7. Okay, the first, firewall must sit at security boundaries. It must be at security boundaries. Why security boundaries? Because firewall is tools that we use, okay, to inspect the element of data we come to the network and out from the network. Okay, so it is unwise to rely exclusive on firewall for security. Yes, definitely. Okay, you cannot have only one firewall. They have a lot of things for layered set defense. You need to have IDS, you need to have IPS, you need to have antivirus, you need to have a spam protection. Okay, you need to have SOP for policy IT. So in terms of password management, in terms of IT management, in terms of device management. Okay, so by default all traffic must be denied, and only permitted service that need to be needed, that will be permitted. And the most important thing is that physical access to the firewall is controlled. Why? Because even if you have a very good defense in terms of firewall, but the physical access to the firewall, if it's not controlled, it will be useless, because anyone can be like a janitor, can be like a cleaner, can go and access the firewall. So this is not good lah. Okay, should be able to monitor firewall logs. Why we need to have a firewall logs? Because let's say if something happened, okay, we can see, oh, this particular happened at which time, at which day. Okay, so is it repeated? Okay, from what particular IP? Okay, so we can see the pattern of the attack lah. Okay, practice chain management for firewall configuration changes. Okay, what the meaning of chain management? Chain management means, okay, sometimes firewall configuration, they need to be configured again and again, especially when you have a new additional server to be added in the network, or maybe you have an expansion of a particular local LAN. So all this will require the changing of a firewall configuration. So to do the changes of firewall, you cannot just simply, oh, I want to change for like this. No, you cannot. This is not good. Okay, why? Because if anything happen because of the firewall changes configuration, okay, you cannot detect where from the firewall that make the problem, okay, affect the problem. So you need to have a chain management. If important, you need to have an SOP, okay, work permit. Okay, who will do the change management for firewall? Who will involve? Okay, who will verify the changes? Who will do the changes? All those need to be in place. Okay, and then last one, to remember that firewall primarily protect from technical attack originating from outside. So the term here is outside. Okay, means if the attack is from the inside, okay, the firewall mostly cannot able to protect. Okay, so in terms of perimeter, in terms of physical, we need to protect our server and network. Okay, and also people is the most important thing. Okay, alright, so next, that's all for subject 3.2. So next I will continue with chapter 3.3. That's all. Thank you.